Hey everybody, it's the Golden Sound Twice. So I realized that my video I made last night was very emotional and not very academic or offering enough meta as to why I really struggle with Sengoku Night Blood. So I figured if I make a very short video, kind of breaking down all the elements why I'm frustrated with this show, that should, hopefully put me in the clear. Not putting me in the clear, more of like giving an academic approach as to my frustrations. So here we go. I have 6 things that I sat and wrote about, so I have my notes right here so I can look at it. Number 1, we're so lucky everybody speaks Japanese, right? And let me just say, I struggle with this with any show. We're like, you go to another world and you're like, wow, we're so lucky everybody speaks English. That's great. We're in a new alternate dimension, and we all speak the same language. It's great. So my frustration with that lends to all media, really. So that's number 1. Number 2, it's just, my frustration lies within how many guy characters there are for this one woman character. Like, I'm convinced, y'all, that there are 40 different guy characters, and they all seem so interesting. They all seem like they have interesting paths, different things that motivate them, and I want to see that history. I would love to delve down deeper into these characters, but we're really not given that much time. And even when you go onto their wiki information, you don't even find that much information about them. And I realize that this is a show that is based off of a dating app, but they have so much to work with, and I feel like if we utilize it, it could make it a really fun story. Also, honestly, can we make some of these characters gay? We need more LGBT representation in media, and this could be a great show to lend to that, but it's not going there. And I'm not opposed to any of the characters ending up with our main heroine protagonist, but I need to have a reason to want them to be with her, and all they give us is like this one episode, she blinked and suddenly they're in love with her. I cannot buy that. That is not how relationships work. That is not how emotions work. And so it's just, I can't get into it. It's so frustrating. It's just a pretty face falling for another pretty face, and it's frustrating for me. In this world, so that was number 2. Number 3 is that this world seems so rich, and I would like to know more about it. We know that the humans were at war with each other, and so the Hime Miko created the supernatural race to come and to protect the humans, but then when she vanished, they just all fell apart to shambles, and now they're at war with each other, and it really defeats the whole point of them being brought there in the first place. They were supposed to be on a higher level than humans are, both like intellectually and mentally and spiritually, and they're not. They're just like all the other humans, except for vampires have the pointy ears and teeth, and the werewolves have doggy ears and doggy tails. And there is no absolute difference. And I'm sure that the Hime Miko is off facepalming somewhere going, why? Like, girl, if you wanted some organization, bring in some, like, women generals. Like, come on. You're struggling because y'all left this to the guys in the first place. Now you just left it to the guys with, like, wolf ears and pointy teeth. It's not going to get better. You've multiplied your problems exponentially, which isn't to say that it's not to say that guys can't put the land and people before them, but these particular guys can't. They literally are having a pissing contest over the territory, and it's like, bruh, that's what the humans are doing. You were brought here to stop it, but you're just making it worse. And they're like, I don't care. I'm gonna swing my sword. Oh, look, it's a pretty girl. Let's go touch her. What? Also, there are these like demons. I didn't mention this last night, but there's these demons that are called Yakumas that have been like running rampant since the Hime Miko has vanished. And like, oh, I'm only on episode 8 here, but I'm like 90% certain. I'm 90% certain at this point that the Yakuma are like pieces of the Hime Miko's soul that's been like split up, and she's become demonized because she's so pissed off at everybody. Like if that isn't what happens, then I will be pissed. Like I need a demon princess at this point because everything else has gone to shit. You know what would be great? It'd be great if the Hime Miko and our lady protagonist got together. Like, give me a reverse harem where all the guys are falling for the girl and she's just like, surprise, I'm a lesbian. So, let's be honest here. That could save this story. That could save this anime. That'd be great. Okay, anyway. So, moving on. Speaking of ladies, I don't know, where are we at now? Are we at number 4? I guess? But like, why aren't there any ladies whatsoever? Like, I can absolutely understand that, you know, this is supposed to be based off of ancient Japan. No, I can't understand. Rewind. There were women samurais back then. There were women ninjas. Where are my lady characters? She is the only lady. Like, the main character is the only lady. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, no? That's not how this works. Can I get some ladies up in here? Can I get me some lovely transgender ladies up in here? Like, why is it just guys? Although there's a few characters I'm watching, I'm like, are you a transgender guy? What's going on here? But then again, this doesn't seem like it's going to lend to the LGBT at all, so don't get your hopes up, fam. It's not happening. Not happening in this show. So, anywho, long story short, there is a woeful lack of ladies. And I'm not even saying that from like, where's pretty girls at? I'm literally saying it from it's not how nations work. You don't have just one gender. Because that is stagnant and boring. And also not efficient. Like, no, this is not how that works. That's not how it works. Like, you don't even see servants. Like, you'll have the vassals cleaning the castle, and you're just like, pretty sure there should be a servant that does that. It's not you. Are you just that gay for your captain? And then, yes, they are. But again, she walks by them and blinks, and they're all like, I'm in love. And it's like, no, you're not. You're not. So, okay, here's one thing that really has frustrated me. So they have Yuzuki. Like, every army that has ever kidnapped her at any point in time has Yuzuki in on their military meetings. Even the main hoe, the main general, who's trying to unify the land and kill everybody else. Contradiction? I think so. But so, like, he's kidnapped her currently, episode 8, so he kidnapped her, and he has her, and he's the first one out of all of the other people that have kidnapped her to be like, we can use her special blood, feel free to use it, help yourself. And she's like, actually, this is the first character that she's ever been terrified of in this entire damn series. And even he has allowed her to be in on their military meetings. And I'm just sitting there going, no! You don't let your kidnap sit in to learn the strategic. What if she's a spy? God, I wish she was a spy. Then her character would have meaning. She would have depth and personality, but she doesn't. So she just sits there and listens to everything and tries to offer tips, and you're just like, no. No. So, Break me out the whiskey, guys. That's all I can do to handle this show. Anyway. So anywho, moving on to the last thing that really frustrates me is why is she such a flat character? I feel that she was written for the male audience, that she is just to be saved by everybody, that she doesn't have anything to offer herself. She's a submissive and quiet and obedient character, and while there is nothing inherently wrong with those like traits or features or parts of a personality, it's really all she has to offer. And she doesn't even try to fight for her own freedom. She accepts whatever happens to her. She always seems to be shocked when, like, even this, like I said, the main hoe right now, he's like, we'll use her blood, and she's just like, my blood? Bitch, what did you think? Like, they have been talking this entire time about drinking your blood. Like, since the beginning, and your blood was off limits until we got to this level. Like, why are you surprised? You just got lucky. Well, and then she tries to make friends with everybody, and it's like, you are allowed to be angry, you are allowed to be upset, you are allowed to be mean, you're allowed to be hard in these situations. You need to have self-preservation, and she just does not have any. And she's even said, like, I remember a couple episodes where, like, she tried to fight somebody with a sword and wasn't even, like, allowed to pick it up. Like, she went to pick it up, and the guy was like, oh, I will risk my life for you. And I'm just like, somebody hand me my knife. I will come up in there and show you a woman can protect herself. And it's just, I can't feel anything for her because, like, as a viewer, as a fellow woman, but also just as a viewer, I cannot connect to the character. Like, you know how in harem animes where they make the guy and it's like, oh, any guy can put himself into that situation and he has, like, all these fun girl personalities around him. I can't put myself in her situation because she's not even trying to fight for herself. Like, all she does is make friends with people, cook food, and tries to say nice things. But we don't know anything about her. We don't know about her home life. We don't know about her school life. There is nothing for me as the viewer to connect to. I can't put myself in her situation because there's been nothing offered to me to want to put myself in her situation. And the one time a character did ask about her background, they cut away from it and came back to see what the guy's reaction was. And so this is really a show just about watching guys, pretty guys, fighting battles. And if that's the case, why do we even have her? Like I said, why can't these characters, like, why can't they be allowed to be gay for each other? Or why can't they be allowed to just be by themselves? Why can't we just watch them try to figure out where their princess vanished to? Why are there these demons running around? What can they do to save their people? And to have them realize that you need to stop being dumbasses and quit fighting with each other and just try to support each other and support the country and the people that you were, tasked to take care of. Like, that would be far more interesting to me than having this bland woman character there who gives me nothing to like about her. And again, it's not that being quiet, it's not that being submissive, and it's not that being obedient are bad things, but when people can walk all over you, when you don't defend for yourself, and when you're like, oh yes, I have a personality and I'm spunky. Well, where is it? Well, I'm just gonna go trip over this and then the guy will save me and I'll let him do that. It's like, and then when all these guys are falling all over for her, it's like she hasn't done anything inherent to have you fall for her besides being nice. And if you're gonna fall for somebody who's just nice to you, like they smiled and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I propose marriage and I will marry you, like, it's not good writing. That's not good characterization. It's just very, very frustrating to me. Also, she hasn't changed her clothes at all, and she has to reek at this point, so that's also a thing. But so I made this video longer than I planned. But hopefully I was able to approach it in a more academic route. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy this. Uh, Normally I'd say don't take my word for it, go watch the show, except for I had one of my friends watch the show last night and she texted me and she was like, I can't do it. Can't do it. So, there you go. Anyway, so the Golden Sound Twice out. I hope you all have a lovely night. Goodbye.